Square partners have always been an integral part of the broader Square ecosystem. Now, as we evolve our strategy to a sharper focus on some key audiences, which we'll talk about in a little bit, our partners and the solutions they bring are more important than ever. We'll continue our investments in our products, our developer platform, and our partner programs to help us together better meet the complex needs of our sellers. When we work together, we will better enable the businesses that we jointly serve to thrive. We want to save our sellers time. That is really at the core of what we do, and we consider it our obligation to help them keep up with and leverage the ever-changing technology and commerce landscape. As we plan our work, we keep a close eye on key trends that are driving deep changes in the industry to inform the solutions that we build and the partnerships that we create. So what are some of these changes that we must help our sellers adapt to and embrace? The first, AI. You surprised it took me 2 minutes to get to this as our key trend? AI has been a useful tool for commerce companies and businesses for a long time. But in 2023, it really hit mainstream with generative AI, of course, showing consumers just how powerful it can be. It's accelerating the evolution of commerce from transactional to personal, enabling buyers to feel more digitally connected and understood than ever before. For sellers, AI can be a key to help them unlock things like personalized customer experiences, recommendations, or optimizations for pretty much every part of their business workflow, from supply chain logistics to inventory management to pricing to digital marketing and so much more. Number two is a popular one. Nearly 100 million people in the US shop directly on social media. As young millennials and Gen Z continue to consume the market, this number will only increase. 83% of Gen Z consumers say that their shopping starts on social media. More and more brands are making it effortless for people to discover and purchase directly from their favorite social media apps like TikTok and Instagram. That not only earns that brand social currency, but it elevates the consumer experience across the board. This connects to our third key trend: unified experiences across every channel, or what we often refer to as omnichannel. In 2023, consumers fully embraced the return to in-person shopping and dining. But that doesn't mean that online shopping and dining and ordering started to lag. In fact, customers want to shop across multiple channels and touchpoints for every given purchase. From online shops to third-party marketplaces to social media apps to brick-and-mortar stores, people are researching, comparing, shopping, and seeking customer support just about everywhere you can imagine. And they expect to do so easily, delightfully, and with no disruption. To really nail the brand experience at every touch point, sellers need to maintain a cohesive presence across platforms, from their physical storefronts to their websites, to their social media profiles, to the representation on third-party marketplaces. And this data needs to sync across all of these channels effortlessly. The fourth key trend is sustainability. This remains at the forefront of our consumers' minds as they increasingly experience the impacts of climate change firsthand. And we expect this will continue to build momentum through 2024 and beyond. Consumers are seeking out and prioritizing eco-conscious options such as carbon-neutral shipping and packaging that's friendlier to the earth. And they're even willing to pay a premium for sustainable goods and services. And the last one I'll speak to is personalized customer services and experiences. Customers seek bespoke experiences at every step of their journey, including customer service. Their personal preferences, their transaction history, their past service interaction should all play a role in how sellers engage with them today. In recent years, companies have recognized that customer service is a very real extension of their brand, a human voice or touch that ideally represents the best of that brand's attributes. So investing in building a smooth customer experience is key. And the more customers embrace digital channels, the truer this becomes. Organizations need to think creatively about how to solve for intangibles like empathy and tone of voice, and ensure that agents have access to the right information at the right time to solve whatever issues may arise. And this is particularly germane when we think about AI applications to customer service. So we've been doing a lot to follow these key trends and many more. whether we're doing business as Square or whether we're enabling our sellers to better serve their end customers. And all of this is placed on a macroeconomic backdrop that we take very seriously. Access to capital, labor costs, competition, and more all impact a seller's business. And we want to build products and services that better equip them to face this volatility and thrive in their communities. But we can't do this all ourselves. We need to work together with all of you, our partners, to innovate faster and deliver better experiences to serve sellers and their customers.
Good morning, everybody. Great to be with you all. Thank you all for making time today. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about our progress as a business for Square overall, and to tell you about what sets us apart. So, Square by the numbers. So, just to get us started, we offer 36 products to our customers. We serve over 4 million sellers, and we are now live in 8 countries. Our more mature markets are the US, UK, Canada, Japan, Australia, and we're earlier on in Ireland, France, and Spain. We're so excited to continue the journey of offering Square alongside all of you, our partners, to these countries and increasingly more countries over the next several years. To give you some sense of our scale, we processed about 4 billion transactions in 2023. We also produced 209 billion in processed volume for our customers across all of these countries. And in 2023, through all of our work, we generated about 7 billion in net revenue. As you can imagine, this is a large scale that we're working at, but we believe that we're still just getting started and there's a lot more work to go do with you all alongside us. Let's talk a little bit about processing volume. In the US, our volume was up 7% year on year by GPV, but in international markets, we were up 26% year on year. Our international markets have historically grown faster than the US, off of a smaller base, of course, but we expect that both the US and our non-US markets can see acceleration with our work in 2024 and beyond. Of course, it's also worth noting that GPV is a narrow indicator of the value we create. It's an important one, but not the exclusive one. Regardless, it should tell you a sense of our scale and our growth, both in the US and in non-US markets. Tell you a little bit about our categories. Food and bev has always historically been one of our strongest, if not our strongest category. And in 2023, Square Food and Bev GPV grew by about 15%. Additionally, services grew by 8%, retail by 4%. And the stat at the bottom is interesting. Over the last several years, we've invested in premium vertical functionality, so helping our sellers expand upmarket, helping Square expand upmarket. And those vertical point of sale solutions have grown by 27% year on year. So, let me also tell you Block by the numbers. We covered Square, but of course, Block comprises of 2 of the larger business units. That's Square and Cash App, but also emerging business units like Tidal. Across Block, we processed a total of about 227 billion in GPV across Square and Cash App, and about 22 billion in net revenue across all of our business units. We'll talk briefly about Cash App towards the end of this talk, but that gives you a sense of the opportunities, not just with Square, but also with Block at large as we work to connect the various ecosystems. So, what sets Square apart? There are 4 key differentiators that we want to talk to you about today to give you a sense for how you can partner with us going forward. First, this won't surprise you. What has always set Square apart is iconic hardware paired with intuitive, exceptionally well-designed software. 15 years ago, small businesses and many larger businesses were forced to use clunky, tacky payment terminals that nobody was proud of. And Square has played a major role in democratizing and modernizing the access for small businesses. Today, All of us as employees are still used to people coming up to us and talking to us about the little white reader or the swipe from the stand. These are iconic consumer behaviors or seller behaviors that Square invented, but we're not done yet. We are going to continue investing in hardware and software. Our hardware is not just beautiful, it's not just about the form, it's also about the function. There are hundreds of exceptional hardware experts that focus on building great hardware and then integrating it with our own software. This is an area where we want to do more with partners. Historically, we partnered with you all using our APIs, but over the next several years, we hope to bring you all closer to our hardware by ensuring that you have access to functionality right within the mobile point of sale. We don't have any immediate product announcements, but this signals the scope of our ambition. We have an internally integrated loyalty program, gift card program, staff program. All of these things can be complemented, supplemented, improved with partners. So this is something that you should see us doing over the next several years, and we're excited to work with all of you on it. So that's hardware and software. Let's talk ecosystem. This is something that you've known about us. We have built a platform over the last decade to help us work with partners such as yourselves. While we offer 36 first-party products, we offer many, many more products thanks to you all, our partners. Our goal has always been for Square to be the one-stop shop where sellers can start, run, and grow their business. But we know we can't do it ourselves. By definition, we serve millions of sellers across multiple categories. This means that we usually build, by and large, general-purpose horizontal solutions. This is where partners can play an important role because you all can help us build the best X for a given category or best Y for a given category. And we want to ensure that partners can serve our sellers alongside us in many of our categories, and we are excited to work with you on it. So that's ecosystem. One that's talked about a little bit less, and maybe you have less familiarity with, but is worth highlighting here, is our banking portfolio. We are known for point of sale, we are known for payments acceptance, but we are maybe less well known for banking. Over the past several years, we have built out a full suite of banking functionality to help our sellers not only accept payments, but have instant access to their funds, the ability to quickly and instantly spend their hard-earned money, and the ability to manage their budgets and their savings for their business. All of this is informed by the very core insight that cash flow is king for our businesses, for any business, but this is yet more true for the smaller businesses that always care about cash flow to a daily, hourly basis. Over the years, we've built 6 products in an integrated portfolio of banking products, and we are going to add more here. Let me walk you through some of them. We have a checking product. We have a business checking product where all of your acceptance can automatically flow into your business checking account, giving you instant access to your funds and the ability to spend it almost instantaneously. That's one. 2, we've launched a savings product, a business savings product that allows sellers to manage their budgets, to save for their business's future, and to earn APY alongside that. So we have a savings product. We have an instant transfers product. As I mentioned, cash flow is extremely important to our businesses. So for sellers that need to have access to funds outside of our checking or savings, we can allow them to instantly transfer the money out. We invented this. This is present in Square and Cash App and elsewhere, and we're very proud of this offering as a way to give quick access to funds for small businesses. We have a loans product, critically. Square was one of the first companies, if not the first company, to recognize that if you have access to acceptance, if you have access to the point of sale, you can not only understand where the business is today, but more importantly, where the business can be, what their trajectory is going to be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And we can use all of that data that we have access to automatically underwrite unsecured loans for our sellers when appropriate. We are able to instantly issue loans to our customers. There's no application process. There's no multi-month wait. We can instantly issue loan offers to our customers and right into their inbox. And if they accept the loan, we can fund the loan pretty much instantaneously. When you think loans, don't think $100,000 loans. Think loans of $10,000, $7,000, $5,000. And these are the things that can be critical to a business that is right on the cusp of growing to the next level. It can fund equipment purchase. It can fund working capital. It can fund payroll. And all of these things can be the difference between stress and peace, success and failure for our business owners. And this is why we're proud to originate billions of dollars of loans, and we intend to do more here. We also have a line of credit product. It's a reliable, versatile solution for larger sellers with longer credit histories, larger credit scores, and they can use it, once again, for working capital, equipment growth, opening store locations. There are amazing stories of Square helping sellers grow their businesses through easy and fair access to credit. So the banking portfolio has grown significantly as part of Square. What was 16% of our gross profit 2 years ago in Q1 2022 has grown to 23% of our gross profit in Q1 2024. At our scale, this is not easy to do. And this has occurred because we've built great integrated banking and financial services products that our sellers really value. We've rolled out a bunch of our banking portfolio to all of our markets, and we continue to do more. Finally, I want to talk about another differentiator that's maybe a bit underappreciated, and that's our buyer graph, our buyer data, and our customer engagement tools that emerge thereof. As you know, Square has been multi-category from the day one. We've served sellers across restaurants, across plumbers, professional services, beauty and personal care, you name it. Because of our inherently multi-category nature, we've been able to grow to millions of sellers, and because of those millions of sellers, hundreds of millions of buyers. And this, in turn, has created an emergent differentiator around our buyer graph. Anytime a seller processes transactions with buyers using credit cards or Tap to Pay or Apple Pay, we are able to help sellers build an automated CRM system. As you know, CRM has been a big category of enterprise software for a long period of time, but small businesses historically have not been able to have their own CRM system, their own customer list. Well, Square can help you build an automated CRM system without any intervention, without any effort from you. All you do is operate your point of sale, accept payments, and on the other side of it, we'll build you an automated CRM system, a 360-degree customer profile, and the ability to actually fully understand your buyers. That includes purchase frequency, that includes average order size, that includes any other actions as a buyer that you might participate in the ecosystem, gift cards you might have purchased, loyalty points you have, and so on. Another place where partners can participate if you serve buyers through sellers. And because of all of this work that we've done around our buyer graph and our buyer data, we've been able to successfully build customer engagement tools on top. Our loyalty program, for example, our first-party loyalty product, has 50 million enrolled members. In aggregate, that makes it one of the largest loyalty programs in the country. If you go look at the marquee loyalty programs, whether they're airlines or coffee shops, the largest of the largest, they tend to have numbers of this nature. Of course, once again, this is where partners are important, because not only can we build our own first-party products for areas like loyalty, gift cards, marketing, we would welcome partners into our ecosystem to help us build better, more specific products that leverage our buyer graph and are good for the customer. So again, in summary, buyer graph and customer engagement tools are a huge differentiator for Square and an area that we'd welcome partners. And finally, all of this is just on the Square side. You have to remember that while Square serves 4 million sellers, Cash App, which is owned by Block, and is one of the largest fintech or even the largest consumer apps in the country, serves 56 million monthly active buyers. We've been open about our long-term ambition to bridge these two ecosystems and to help our sellers be discovered on Cash App and to help buyers on Cash App to discover new sellers in their neighborhood, in their communities with Square. This is something that we intend to work on over the next several years with our ambition of connecting the blocks or connecting the two major ecosystems in block. So with that said, what sets us apart will make us grow. Thank you for your time, and I'm going to turn it back to Vijay.
So nothing is more important than having a reliable foundation to build upon. That's why it's paramount for us to build a rock-solid and flexible platform that serves both our external customers through our developer platform and our partner ecosystem, and our internal teams building first-party products. This is, and should always be, our first priority. It fuels our entire model. We started to build our partner ecosystem with platform and product partners. With these partners, we offer our sellers integrations that meet all of their unique needs and ensure they have interoperability with the services and products that they use every day. And as a result, sellers can get the technology and support they need to manage and grow their businesses more effectively. Tactically, we create these connections by showcasing partner products and services to our sellers through various public channels such as our website, our marketplaces, lifecycle campaigns, and promotional events like App Week. Over time, we've refined our go-to-market and product development strategy and have taken an increasingly audience-first approach to meeting our sellers' needs. Partners have become an increasingly critical part of success in this area, as you all offer unique and custom-made solutions for these specific businesses. So we address the needs of these 4 core audiences through pods that are really designed to focus on them. That's food and bev, retail, home repair and professional services, and beauty and personal care. In addition, we have dedicated partner managers who work with horizontal products that serve any seller regardless of their industry. Those are e-commerce, banking, accounting, loyalty, and so many more. All this investment and the large number of partners who have built applications with our APIs has driven significant growth for our sellers. You're a part of over 600, almost 650 active Square partners available to 4 million Square sellers. And the number of sellers that connect to our partner ecosystem is growing 21% on average year over year. As you know, you partner with us in 3 primary ways. The first is we have integration partners. We just talked about that. They build solutions that are directly integrated with our first-party products using our APIs and our developer tools. We have solutions partners who are externally known as Square specialists. They're made up of agencies and systems integrators. They provide custom services to our sellers. And then lastly, we have referral partners, also known as channel partners, who provide complementary solutions to our sellers and refer their customers to us. We've consistently invested in the first, our integration partner ecosystem, through initiatives like enhanced features for the app marketplace, a more robust developer platform, our app recommendation engine, so that sellers can partner with you in a targeted and more relevant way. But in 2023, we really ramped up our investment in the other ecosystems. Our solutions partner ecosystem helps our sellers get more business from Square. In November, we released the Square Specialist Directory, where our solutions partners can list their services, examples of their work, and pricing to our sellers. Sellers can browse this directory and submit projects for a selected specialist, or they can ask us to choose a specialist for them. In just a few months, we've seen really promising results for this directory, and this year we plan to increase our comms and marketing to sellers to drive even more visibility to these great partners and third-party services. But let's move to 2024. Today, we're announcing a bunch of exciting developments for all of you. Whether you build package solutions with our APIs, or you build custom solutions or offer support and services to our sellers, or if you refer sellers to us or would like to, you're all in for a treat.
Thanks, Vijay, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So as Vijay discussed earlier, we have expanded our partner program over the years. We supported first integration partners, who are the ones who build applications that integrate with our core products to our APIs. And then we introduced the partner program for solutions partners, which includes agencies and system integrators who build applications custom for our sellers. And now we have a really strong push to bring referral partners into our ecosystem. So by partnering with us this way, our referral partners can earn revenue if they refer sellers to us, and they can also bring us leads that would not have really thought about Square if they haven't been introduced by our referral partners. So in order to support their growth, we have launched a couple months ago, and I think some of you might have heard of it, but officially what we call our new referral partner program. Our partners in our ecosystem can now be eligible to receive a pretty sizable bounty of a minimum of $1,000 for every qualifying referral that they bring to Square, who process over $250,000 per year. And they need to be onboarding with Square within 30 days. But that's not it. We realize that many of these partners, like examples would be LegalZoom or Home Depot, they don't offer integrated solutions like our integration partners, but they do have very interesting solutions that our sellers can benefit from to run and grow their business. So far, these partners actually brought us a lot of sellers, and what we want is actually increase their visibility through our website so that our sellers can come find them and sign up for their solutions. So today, we are announcing a new directory that we call Partner Offers. Partner Offers will host all exclusive promotions, benefits that the referral partners can offer to our sellers. So let's see how it's going to work. Partner Offers actually launched on May 22nd, and we plan to pilot the experience for a few days until we launch it in Canada in mid-June and in our European markets in the second half of this year. First, as they come visit our website, sellers who are looking for a list of companies who partner with Square will discover a new directory landing page. This page will provide an overview of all the various directory experiences that we have, and this page is also going to be referenced in the onboarding flow for our sellers and through some in-product experiences. Today, let's go visit the new Partner Offers website. So this new directory was designed with an intuitive user experience in mind, similar to the experience you see on the app marketplace or the solutions directory that Vijay just covered. Upon scrolling, users can view the grid of partner tiles. Each tile features a partner name, a logo, value proposition, visual offer queue, and a CTA. Through our user research, we determined that this content was the best for getting our sellers to understand how the partner solution can help them and how they can earn more or sign up directly with our partner. And to simplify browsing, we have included a few search features and filters that include service offered and industry expertise. While all partners listed on the homepage are listed on the homepage, each partner gets its own landing page where they can include more information. This is a place to share more info about your offering, and that can't be mentioned on the homepage tile. And also includes a key visual, the price, an applicable location, and a CTA to drive to your sign-up page. Before exiting the directory, we're making sure that sellers are prompted to log in with Square to ensure that only Square sellers can convert to your experience. In short, Partner Offer is the new Square-hosted home to promote your product. So if you're interested to be listed, here is what we need from you. We need a relevant product offering that provides seller value, a compelling offer to attract more eyes, assets for your directory content, and the commitment to build a sign-up page and also share quarterly reporting with us. When it comes to the process for all this, we got you covered. Our team built a concise best practice guide, which includes guidelines to protect your partnership. We plan to update the directory on a quarterly basis with new partners or new offers. If you'd like to be listed on the directory, and we want all of you to be, let's talk live. Connect with your partner manager, and they will share all the instructions and next steps. Thank you for being part of our mission. We're just getting started with product announcements. So now let's look at a new release that I think both our solutions partners and developers at large are going to like.
Hi, everyone. 6 years ago, we introduced the Reader SDK, which allowed you to embed Square payments directly into your native mobile apps and process transactions using a Square Reader or a Square Stand. It quickly became one of our platform's flagship products, and over the years, we've been actively gathering feedback from our vibrant community of developers and partners on how we can improve the value this SDK delivers. Today, I'm excited to announce the launch of the Mobile Payments SDK in beta, our new iteration of the Reader SDK, equipped with highly requested features, improved reliability, and deeper integrations with the Square ecosystem. So now let's dive into some of the core features that make this SDK stand out. So firstly, we've added a reader management API and offline payments to minimize downtime and to help ensure sellers never miss a sale. Now you can proactively monitor the health and status of connected Square readers and continue to take payments seamlessly in the event of connectivity issues or outages. Secondly, this SDK is built on top of our new Payments API, unlocking features like app fees, deeper orders integration, delayed capture, and more. Plus, its other capabilities include Square Sandbox support and the acceptance of Square gift cards as a payment method. And it's worth noting that all of these features I've just mentioned are ready to use now. But that's not all. We plan to release the SDK into GA shortly, and by the end of the year, we'll expand internationally beyond the US and into Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. Now, some of you are probably wondering, why didn't we stick with the name Reader SDK? Why call it the Mobile Payments SDK? Well, it's because this SDK will support much more than just the Square Reader. So of course, you'll still be able to accept payments using the Square Reader and the Square Stand, but soon you'll also be able to accept Tap to Pay on iPhone and Android, as well as QR code payments via Cash App. We're making it even more convenient and flexible for your sellers to take payments quickly, especially if they're on the go. So whether you're building a self-service kiosk, a custom point of sale, a field app, or any other app that needs to accept secure in-person payments, the Mobile Payments SDK might be the right fit for you. And if you're already using the Reader SDK, you'll want to get started getting ready to migrate to the new Mobile Payments SDK. Now, I've covered a lot, so let's shift gears and jump into a short video demo to show you how it all works in action. So here you can see I have a custom kiosk app for my self-serve dog wash. It's built with the Mobile Payments SDK and uses a Square Reader to accept in-person payments. I've initialized and authorized the SDK. I'm now ready to get started and take a payment. We've included settings and pairing screens out of the box to get you up and running quickly. Pairing flows help guide the seller through the process of connecting a reader to their device. This is all built with public Reader Management API, meaning your app has visibility into reader state, readiness, and device info. Let's take a quick look at my reader. Perfect. 98% battery should be enough to get me through the day. The About page provides information related to the SDK, including authorized location, version, and environment. As the developer, you decide where to place the settings screen in your app. So now that we have a reader paired, we're ready to take a payment. The SDK provides tools out of the box to make the payment experience easy and consistent. Customer here is going for the ultimate package, adding towels and spa treats. Takes a moment to review their order. So I click charge. Here they're presented with a default payment prompt screen. They tap their card, go through the authorization flow. Awesome, payment success. So as the first customer moves on to the washing station, the line of customers moves ahead. It's a Saturday afternoon and the pups are getting restless, yes. So unexpectedly, we're hit with an internet outage and the device is offline. Fortunately, Mobile Payments SDK supports offline payments, and the queue of customers keeps moving. We've worked hard to make this as seamless as possible for the developer, the seller, and the buyer. Once again, customer reviews their order, going for the works, clicks charge, presented with the default payment prompt screen, tap their card, go through the authorization flow, and success, crisis averted. Right, so offline payments help to ensure that sellers never miss a sale. And that's that. We're thrilled to bring this new evolution of the Reader SDK, and we're so excited to see the ways you'll use Mobile Payments SDK.
I'm sorry, this part will be a little bit interactive, but by show of hands, how many folks have submitted an app to Square's App Marketplace? Great, a couple of you. And now I want you to be honest. How many of you thought the process was a little bit disjointed or difficult? Great, even more of you. Well, you're not alone and you're not wrong. To submit an app, you had to work in the developer console, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Gmail. We love Google here at Square, but this is way too much to keep track of for anybody. Well, you let us know that, and we listened. We've revamped our app launch process to exist in just one place, the developer console. Now, you'll only have to go to a single place to learn about requirements, to submit your app for QA, and to submit listing details. We're really excited to demo this new self-serve app launch experience that recently launched in beta and is designed to support you through every step of Square's app marketplace submission process. For the purposes of this demo, we will talk through an experience using an example app called Beanstalk. Beanstalk is an inventory management app that has everything that you need to source beans, stock beans, and sell beans. It's basically a bean-based business's dream. And the best part, it fully integrates with Square. So to start, requirements are presented up front with our new interactive documentation. This helps you know exactly what quality bar we've set for launching your app so that you can plan ahead accordingly up front. Once you're in the dashboard and have created your app, you can kick off the process of submitting your app for the app marketplace. You'll click through our terms, select your app, and indicate which geos you're launching in. Then you're able to get to work on your integration. When you go to this integration guide, you will first answer a couple of questions about the APIs that you're using. So you'll select your APIs, and then you will answer implementation details about your app based on the APIs selected. Note that the questions are dynamic, giving you questions tailored to your app's functionality. Once you've answered these questions, you'll see a list of requirements to get into the marketplace. But don't worry, we'll give you a link to the documentation to better understand the requirements themselves. The Square team will use these requirements when evaluating whether the app is production ready. Once you feel like your app meets the requirements, you can submit it to our team, providing testing information to validate your app and any info that you think will help speed up your process. So for example, how to initiate OAuth. Once your app is submitted, you will see the status change to in progress. In parallel, you can also work on the listing details that the sellers will see. This is an existing process and won't change too much, so things like basic information such as company name, as well as the app website. Once Square provides you feedback, you'll be able to see it in the developer console. You can see general feedback, feedback on how you answered questions, or feedback on specific requirements, such as no customer support contact information. If you want to clarify something, there's always the opportunity to add a note for the reviewer to give more context on your app. And please add more context than that. After you make the changes to your app based on the feedback that you've received, it's easy to resubmit your application until it passes the quality threshold. Once your app is approved by Square, you'll see the status change in the developer console to live. And then once your app is live, you can visit Square's app marketplace, search for your app, find your listing, and sellers will be able to connect to your app. If you're not in Square's app marketplace yet, it's now easier than ever to get started. And if you have a second app or idea, it's a great time to expand your presence. And once your app is live in the marketplace, you can attract and retain sellers more easily with our new app subscription service, which is launching later this month.
Today, we're excited to announce new capabilities for developers to monetize apps in the Square App Marketplace and build their business on our platform. App Subscriptions is a new beta experience powered by the Subscriptions API that allows you to easily set up subscription plans and convert sellers to your app through Square. It's an easy process for sellers to subscribe to an app with minimal friction. So say you came across the Beanstalk app in the app marketplace and you're interested in giving it a try. You click Get Started and create an account for Beanstalk. You're now on the app subscriptions sign-up page and see the plans available for Beanstalk. App subscriptions supports a mix of free, monthly, and annual plans with the option of free trials for paid plans. So the seller decides to subscribe to the Business Bean plan and is taken to the payment form. Payment sources that are already on file with Square are presented as options, so that cuts down on the friction involved with entering a new payment method. All right, you're now on the confirmation screen where you can clearly see the monthly price, the date when the charges will start, and the permissions that are needed to run the app. All right, the subscription's now been activated, OAuth permissions have been granted, and you're redirected to the Business Bean plan to begin enjoying Beanstalk and its integration with Square. Sellers will receive email confirmations, including reminders when a trial is expiring, and can manage their subscription at any time through the Square seller dashboard. As part of the app subscriptions beta launch, we'll be releasing new self-service tools that allow you to get started, build, launch, and manage subscriptions directly through the developer dashboard. You'll see that there's a new subscription option available in the developer dashboard navigation, and clicking on that takes you to the plans page, where you can see links to documentation, launch requirements, and where you can create your first plan. So for the Beanstalk app, here's where you will start to configure your plans, inputting a name, up to 10 features for the tier, and billing information, including cadence, price, and length for the free trial. When you first create plans, they'll be in a draft state, where you can change any attribute about the plan until you're ready to integrate them into your app. And when you're ready, transition your plans to test. You're now ready to start making API calls to the Subscriptions API and testing the experience with your app. Now that I've created and tested my plans, I'm going to include them in the app submission for the Square App Marketplace. In the pricing section of the content submission, you'll be able to select the plans you want to launch with for our team to review. All right, now the Beanstalk app is live in App Marketplace with app subscriptions. I can use the developer dashboard to see how many subscribers are on my plans, and I can also go to the subscribers page to see all of the sellers that are subscribed to my app and event activity for their subscription. And because this is powered by the Square platform, I can take advantage of other useful tools in the Square ecosystem, like view reports, issue refunds, and get sales summaries delivered to my inbox. I also get quick access to my subscription funds in a matter of days with automatic transfers to my bank account. App subscriptions will be available to US-based developers launching in the US Square App Marketplace starting June 24th. If you're a developer in the US who already has an app in the US Square App Marketplace, you can also launch app subscriptions into your existing app. And we won't collect any revenue share for the first year after you launch app subscriptions, after which a 20% revenue share fee will be applied automatically on subscription payments. This replaces the manual quarterly invoicing system that exists today. We're so excited to bring these new capabilities to the Square App Marketplace to help more sellers realize the value of our app ecosystem and enable developers to grow with Square. This is just the beginning. We'll be adding many more features in the months to come, and would love to hear your feedback.
For the Square Partnerships team, today is our favorite day of the year. We get to have all of you, our partners, in the room with us. We get to hear from sellers, and we have folks from across the company here for us to talk to and interact with. This is a very exciting time for us. We're excited that we have three amazing panelists here today. We're in the home stretch of this keynote, and now is our chance for us to get to hear exactly how the Square platform and the Square partner ecosystem helps businesses thrive. Today, our discussion will focus on the food and beverage industry, and our three panelists include Kevin Rohani, the founder and CEO of a unique concept for hotel restaurants, Jordan Bush, the CEO of 7 Shifts, a leading team management platform for restaurants, and Ming Tai He, the restaurant's food and beverage lead at Square, and also a restaurant owner and operator for restaurants in the Boston area. Please join me in welcoming them to Unboxed. All right, welcome. Why don't we kick things off by getting to know a little bit about each of you, your name, your company, where you're based, and then we'll go into more detail afterwards. We'll start with you, Kevin.
Pleasure being here with you guys. I'll start off by saying I'm not technical, so I've been learning this out of a labor of love for our business the last few years and have gotten a lot more on the technical side, integrating with partners and developing our own software. I'm Kevin Rouhani, the founder and CEO of Camo Eats. We're a vertically integrated hotel food and beverage platform, really focused on improving and changing the way that hotels feed guests at scale. If I asked for a show of hands, the last time you guys had an incredible experience at a hotel dining, I don't know how many, probably none. We hope to change that. The unique component of our business is we really serve two main functions. We run hotel restaurants, and our hotel restaurants are predominantly digital food halls where we'll operate 8 to 12 restaurant menus out of a single kitchen ourselves, service via kiosks through our partnership with you guys. The second main function of our business is a first-party in-house delivery platform where we partner with nearby hotels to outsource their room service, bar service, pool service, and so forth, all via our own software, delivery, and logistics, and so forth. Like I said, it's been a labor of love, and I have the unique privilege of being both a seller on Square and I guess I found out today, a developer on Square, which is great. I was a real estate developer for 15 years, and so now I'll be on this side of the field. It's a pleasure seeing you all.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. I'm Jordan. I'm the CEO at 7 Shifts. So a little bit about me. Not to go too deep, but I am technical. Sorry. But really 7 Shifts is a team management software based solely focused on the restaurant industry. My dad ran quick service restaurants, which I was involved in. My grandparents ran restaurants. So ultimately building something and developing something really simple that took a scheduling lens initially that has now evolved into a much broader platform around scheduling, tip pooling, tip payouts in real time for restaurant workers, all the way funneling through to payroll. So it's been a pretty exciting journey so far. We're used by about 50,000 restaurants across the U.S., and we're used by about 1 in 10 restaurant workers here in the U.S. as well. And I'm based in Canada, so.
Also, everybody, I lead the food and beverage vertical for Square, so don't have to talk about what Square does. We just did about an hour of that. But also, I'm a partner in a restaurant group in the Boston area. Back in 2012, started with Chef Will Gilson and another MIT classmate of mine. I have a story that also I won't go into super deeply, but how I fell into the restaurant industry, but it's common that people end up in the restaurant industry in a lot of different ways. And I just fell sort of really in love with it and decided that this is something where I want to dedicate a lot of my time and passion to, but also technology as well. So I've been, over the last 12 years, growing restaurant group up to 6 locations, 7th opening in July that I'm excited to talk about with today. And I'm a big fan of partners and developers. I use a lot of the products that are represented by the people in this room right now.
Awesome. Kevin, let's start with you. You gave a little intro on Camo. Tell us exactly how it works. So you go into a hotel, you take over the lobby restaurant, but you're also doing delivery service or room service for that hotel and then nearby hotels. Is that accurate?
Yeah, basically, a few years ago, I was sitting in the lobby of one of our hotels in Miami, and I saw like 9 DoorDash drivers come in a 10-minute period, and I have 4 kitchens there, and we did $40 million a year in food and beverage out of that location. I'm wondering why on earth is outside food coming in? And so we figured out a way to enable hotels at scale to maintain their dining revenues and their dining experiences with or without a kitchen. So as you mentioned, essentially, yes, we'll partner with a hotel on their underutilized kitchen real estate. We'll run it as a restaurant for the hotel. And then the second business we operate out of the same space is our delivery marketplace, where we basically connect a series of hotels, 5, 10, 15 different hotels. Some of them don't have kitchens. Some of them have kitchens but can't hire staff, so they can't provide their service. And we outsource it for them. So we provide custom order pages for them. We handle preparation of food. We build our own brands. We handle delivery, logistics, distribution, customer support, everything in-house so that we can maintain the highest level of brand standards and customer service. As I'm sure you guys know, hotels are the highest serviced asset class there is in hospitality. And so we really try to go above and beyond in this industry and look to find additional verticals down the line as we try to enter, sports stadiums and airports and office buildings and apartments as a B2B2C food delivery platform.
It's an amazing concept. Just to get a sense of the scale, how many hotels are you working with today?
Yeah, so we're about 3.5 years into the business. The first 2 years, we only operated out of 7 hotels in Southern California. We chose not to grow outside of Southern California until we, kind of finished up our tech stack, figured out the scalability of it. We've since secured partnerships with the likes of Marriott and Hilton, and we're in 25 hotels. We actually, as of 6 a.m. this morning, are open in the financial district in Wall Street, New York City. I'm happy to be here with you guys while my team is opening up a restaurant. It takes a lot of work, but so we started small and slow. When you want to scale a business, right, in hospitality, especially in food, right, you're really selling something that people eat, they digest, it goes into their temple. You have to take care of the product that you're providing, and so. For us, while COVID was happening and interest rates were zero and everybody was raising a ton of money and just growing for the sake of growing, we also saw all these businesses dying every few weeks, every few months, terrible reviews, terrible customer support. And so we really invested in developing a very strong foundation that would enable us to add hundreds of hotels a year. And that's where we're excited to be in the next maybe year or two.
Great. And tell us your thought process and why you decided to build your business on Square.
Yeah, this was sort of a by chance thing. I not being on the technical side, having a vision of a business I wanted to build for an industry I loved. I interviewed hundreds of online order systems, point of sale systems, inventory management systems, and so forth. And so in this kind of journey, I got to get a deep understanding of what types of companies exist in the space, what type of people work for these companies, because I had to make a big investment decision on behalf of my business to be layered on top of or with somebody else. And so along this journey, we actually started our restaurant business without a point of sale. We just ran an online ordering system as a hybrid point of sale and online order system. And we were introduced to Square, and I kind of, as I'm sure you guys noticed just being around here, there's a sense of energy with the people that work here. Like all the reps and the account managers we'd ever worked with, and everybody that I've met today, you can sense they really care about businesses. They care about what they do. They're very knowledgeable about Square and the different services Square had. This was not something that took a lot for me to figure out. I kind of figured it out right away. As I started to play with Square a little bit, I started to realize like the fact that it's this open of an ecosystem and what that does to enable, somebody on the business side that wants to create value in a business, I thought was a perfect, opportunity. Like me being in the hotel industry, my options of point of sale in the traditional fact is like Micros, which was, they're not here, right? I think like Micros was built in like 1910 and it hasn't updated since. And so we were very excited to work with Square, and we kind of knew after our first project we were going to do all of them with Square, and then we kind of doubled down and built software on top of it, as well as use their app network. So we're heavily involved on both ends of the equation that you guys are kind of going through today.
Great. And you use some of our partners today. Tell us who you use, which integrations they are, and how you discovered them.
Yeah, so over the last 2 years, we've probably tried 11 or 12 different app integration partners for different things, inventory management, accounting, all the good stuff. Right now, we're essentially, we're part of our core system is 7 shifts, which I will tell you guys a story about maybe later on in this panel. They're incredible from the staffing side, just incredible service that we use. I mean it. Like my staff almost had a walkout on me when I was trying to purge the different services we were using, and they were like, "Not 7 shift stays. You're not getting rid of 7 shifts." So they got buy-in from our whole company, and I've become a big fan ever since. We use Infi for kiosks. This has been a new use case for us. We were using Q, which I think got acquired. That was part of you guys' app store. We use MarketMan for our inventory management. QuickBooks for the accounting integration, a handful of different stuff, but I've always found it to be incredibly easy to use. me being a non-technical guy, I literally can go into your guys' app marketplace and completely change the way my business is run, in 20 minutes, which is remarkable.
Great. All right, let's shift gears. And Jordan, it'd be great to hear. We heard a little bit about 7shifts already. Maybe tell us a little bit more, and then also at the same time, why you decided to partner with Square.
Yeah, so when we first started 7shifts as a former developer, a big part of building out this platform was I had a mindset of open from the beginning. So we had like an open API even when we were like 5 people. And as we grew, we started to notice that some of our customers were setting up point of sales, or they were declaring certain point of sales in sort of the onboarding flow. And we got to watch these trends become more established, and Square was a point of sale that really rose to the top in terms of what people were using in our broader client base. And so really early on, we were sort of like, okay, well, let's talk to these customers. Let's understand what about this point of sale that they're using needs to integrate with 7shifts, and how should that work, and what do they care about? And there were sort of 3 key things that they cared about. The first one was sales integration, so that they could use the historical actual sales to project their future sales, so that they could build schedules to a labor target. The second one was integrating some of the labor data, so time cards and things like that, so that we could do some reporting. And the third one was punch enforcement. So if you weren't scheduled in 7shifts, you couldn't clock in via the Square terminal, which I think we're like super close on, or launching. Anyway, so there were some really core aspects, but nevertheless, we got started on some of those key ones first. And I think the experience of using another system that valued the openness and the simplicity and clarity of how to use these endpoints was refreshing, because frankly, I consider a company like Square like the gold standard for how to leverage APIs to build on top of a platform, and frankly shares a similar vision to how I think about 7shifts long term, which is a similar view around building on top of 7shifts and what that might mean for other companies too. So I was very drawn to the simplicity, the ease of use, and frankly, not having to talk to a person to partner with someone. That is so unbelievably rare, even in 2024. I think that keep doing what you're doing, because that is such a huge win.
All right. Maybe one follow-up question. You obviously must have tons of partners, probably other point of sale partners and payments partners and other ecosystem partners. What sets your partnership with Square apart from the rest?
Yeah, I think that there's no question the technological capabilities obviously need to be there for the customers. But when I think in recent times here, as we've gotten closer to the Square team and really worked together on the partnership front, so much of that is so much more can get done as we invest in the relationships with the people at behind the technology and that are working with our team. So I think that investing there and seeing how culturally aligned people are, not just how we think about our customers, but how we think about the technical capabilities we want to be enabling for them, and the sort of icing on around everything that kind of brings everything together is that team bonding between partners. I think that's underrated. Just being present at Square events and having kickoffs in various areas with various teams, and I think that speaks volumes in terms of how serious someone takes a partnership. And those are our best partners. And I think that Square has done a really great job on that front.
Awesome. Great to hear. Ming, let's put aside your role at Square for a second. I want to dig into your experience as an owner and operator of restaurants. You're opening 2 new restaurants, you mentioned, and you've decided to use Square for those. Aside from being employed by Square, what went into your thought process? Presumably you have investors and you have a fiduciary duty to make these very successful restaurants. Why choose Square for these 2 new restaurants?
Yeah, great question, Mike. And that's right. I do have partners. I always have to convince with the decisions that we make. I'm always trying to do all kinds of things with technology. I think the truth of the matter is The operations of a restaurant today is much harder than it was 5 years ago. It's just harder. It's a lot more decisions you have to make, a lot of more jobs and hats you have to wear already than the ones you were wearing in the kitchen or the front of house in the first place. And so truly, it's like flexibility is one of the major points of Square's system that is going to allow my business to succeed and be and to grow. Now, particularly our location opening in July in Boston, it's a cafe, all-day cafe featuring rotisserie, so Mediterranean cafe, but it's also connected to a market. So we've got 9,000 square feet, ton of space. We're going to have vendors coming in with local goods. And it has to be really like a seamless, amazing experience for the guests and for our vendors and obviously for our staff. And really, that's a hard system to really implement. And it really is Square that can help us do all of those different pieces in the different places really well across the business. Whether it's digital commerce, kiosk, especially, we'll be implementing for the first time, online ordering, mobile, et cetera, and delivery. Those are really exciting things that all have to work really well together. And then Square is uniting that and making that easier for us. The second is, because I'm a dollar and cents guy, capital efficiency is like hugely an advantage for Square, and where we can deploy actually less technical capital and get all the benefits of the systems. And a lot of our previous systems that I work with required me to like do double systems, et cetera, which means it just makes the build much more costly. So the flexibility there for Square is really huge for a 9,000 square foot place. And the last, of course, is partners. We've been 7-Shift customers for a long time. Restaurant 365, perfect venue for BEO, Craftable for inventory. So I've used the gamut of different services that are represented by some of the partners here in the room, and those will seamlessly work across all of my locations, mostly full service, when I implement Square. Really excited for it.
All right, we got a few minutes left. For Kevin and Jordan, let me ask you your favorite thing about Square and something you'd like to see new or change from Square in the next few years.
I would say my favorite, and we kind of alluded to it, is the openness. There was a component of me recognizing really early on that I had limitless bounds of what I could create on top of Square. If this was a presentation of our back end and our delivery system, you guys would be blown away with what we've been able to accomplish on top of Square. So I would say the openness has been absolutely huge, because I don't feel like the need to replace that. I feel the need to continuously innovate on top of and around that. So by far my favorite thing. If the second one was one thing you could change? Yeah. I don't know that it's something I would change. I would just love to be involved in whoever here is working on the house account feature. I come from the hotel world. You can't double charge revenues. Let's challenge us to remove the second revenue charge when the house account is process paid by end of day today, hopefully. And I'd love to talk to you guys about ways to make it really, really effective and unique for operators that would need to be using the services of house account. Naturally, I just love that feature being a hotel guy, like the idea of room charges and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, Jordan. Oh,
Kevin, I got that person for you.
Thank you.
So my favorite thing, I won't say the openness again. I think that's obviously been hammered home, but I do, what I'm very excited about is this sort of big focus that Square has taken in being like a really strong contender in the hospitality space. Like, honestly, I think that's really welcomed in terms of what these hospitality folks need, and simplicity and ease and all of that thing, all those things that Square has done traditionally very well in all these other verticals, taking a very deep, focus and stance on making a mark in hospitality is like super, super exciting. The thing, I guess the thing that I would change, was that the question, or
yeah, something you'd like to see change in the next few years?
I mean, this is just more, it's sort of like Kevin's comment. It's more of like a selfishly driven comment of like,
I thought it was like by end of day. You said a couple of years. I'll think.
Yeah. No, I need mine in the next hour, actually. No, but I think just further development, on some of the API endpoints that we're trying to access. I think that whoever's on Orders API, like maybe we should talk to.
Those are your best friends.
Dining categories and being able to kind of filter those and employee IDs for exporting to payroll and stuff. So there's a few things that are really exciting that I think are probably coming down the pipe because the teams have been really supportive in kind of getting those to us. So I'm excited about them.
Great. And that's why we have this forum today and throughout the year for all of us to talk. And so the product managers that you need to talk to are here. And right there in the back is Diego. For you.
Where's mine? Where's my person?
Brand Orders and Catalog.
OC,
you're my guy.
Yeah. All right, we are past time. Please join me in thanking them for coming to our panel, coming to Unboxed, and sharing their insights. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much for joining us. We know you're really busy, so really appreciate the time, and I'm sure our partners are excited to talk to you. I just want to start, where are you in the world? We always try to locate you, so I don't know, you guys might be curious.
I'm in Oslo. We have an office here, and I was at the Oslo Freedom Forum with a bunch of activists and technologists.
Great, thanks for sharing. Okay, so I'll start with, I think a lighter question that we got from the audience from someone from Fellows, Schnur, I think. So, as you dig into Bitcoin, this person is wondering what you think the price of Bitcoin will be in 2030.
Anyone who attempts to predict this will likely be 100% wrong, so I'm not even going to try. But I think one of the things interesting about this conference that I'm at is the price is very rarely talked about. These are people who are living in governments, places in the world that their government bans them from using any credit card processing system, any bank at all. And literally the only way to get money, get funding, move money is through Bitcoin. And that's really what we're focused on, is how the internet gets to an open protocol for money that's not controlled by any single entity, but rather controlled by the people who build it, who use it, and who mine it. And I think it's within reach. It definitely not as far off as we think it is. Definitely by 2030.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, let's just dive into some of more Square-related questions. I've got this question from White Hat Technology from Damien. So Square has been instrumental in supporting small businesses. And what are the new initiative or products that are in the pipeline to further support this segment?
I think what when we first started, we had a merchant. She was a flower cart, and we built this reader. It was pretty hacky at the time, and we gave it to her, and she said, "I don't want to use credit cards. I want to keep it simple, do cash only." And she just kept saying no until someone came up wanting to pay with a credit card. She sent him around the corner to the ATM, and he never came back. And then she said, "I'll try this thing." It wasn't in that moment, but it was a little bit after, when we realized she didn't want to accept credit cards. She just wanted to make the sale. And just by focusing on that question instead is really how we built the company. Credit card acceptance was certainly one way to make the sale, but so was a register to help a seller organize their business and all the information that goes into it. The big one that came almost immediately after that was Square Capital and lending as a way to help sellers grow their sales. But we've just traditionally followed the line of, like, how can we help a seller grow more sales? What are adjacent products that help with that task in particular? Whether it be operations to give them time back so they can focus on getting more sales, customer relationship management, So to answer the question more directly, we constantly look for adjacencies that help our sellers either make a sale, give time back so that they can focus more on their customer, focus more on their business, or build or connect with entirely new technologies that make all of that better. But I would say if there's any category of technologies to build that are interesting for small businesses, it's really around banking. It's around lending, it's around credit, it's around banking products. We have 9 banking products within the market for sellers, and there's many iterations just on those products, but I think there's a lot more products that can be super helpful. And I think that's really what differentiates us and also our platform, is that we have access to banking products. And in fact, we own a bank. And as we think of more products to build, and as we talk with customers, as we talk with all of you about what's needed, that roadmap just gets stronger and stronger, and the differentiation to the ecosystem gets much stronger. So always for adjacencies, always with a question like, how do we help sellers make more sales or give time back, which a lot of the work in this room is focused on as well. Like, how do we connect with other parties and develop on top of Square to help a seller focus more on what's important, which is their customer and their business, not the technology, not the product that we're delivering together, but the one that they're delivering to their own customer.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just love this starting story, and I think how we've built the business over time, really focused on our sellers and what they need is very inspiring to me. All right, moving on to a spicier question, Jack. Anonymous one. So Square has had unprecedented amount of outages lately that has seemingly increased since Alyssa's departure. Is there a plan to improve this?
Yeah, I think those outages were happening, unfortunately, for some time, and I think we have a much better handle on them now. One of the things some of the things we've done structurally to address this is, number one, we established a CTO to really focus on all of our shared infrastructure, raise the bar of our engineering, make sure that our processes are correct in place. In fact, just today, we had a review with the team about our SEV processes, like when we go down, and most importantly, how that's communicated to our sellers and to our developer network. And I think we're in a much, much better place than we were a year ago. But it's also why we made reliability and platform our number one priority. We have 4 priorities, and this is the first. And we also reorganized the whole Square team around discipline, so engineering, product design. And the reason we did that is to focus more on our discipline and focus more on excellence within those disciplines. I think that's where there was a significant gap. We just need to continue to raise the bar, and a lot was getting lost in our former structure of having GMs, and it kind of built these silos, and we weren't optimizing for the right things, which is engineering excellence, design excellence, and both of those things combine to provide reliability. Reliability is not just staying up, it's also making sure our printers work and making sure the experience of connecting them is excellent and without a lot of questions, super intuitive. And it's also how the interface works. Does it actually indicate what it does and how it works just by looking at it? That's where design comes in and where it is best matched with engineering. So just focusing on that, I think will lead to much better outcomes and getting back to a world where we're three or 4 nines of stability. But if we do go down, that we have better tools, not only to inform customers of what's happening, but to remediate issues, such as broadening offline mode and making sure that we are segmenting our tools so that one tool doesn't necessarily mean that it affects the reliability or the uptime of another tool. The last big uptime we had, it's exactly what happened is we had one significant issue with DNS, which really knocked out everything that we had. So I think we've hardened that a ton, but there's still much work to do, and we need to make sure that we have the right communication patterns and also the right tools that people can use in the case that we do go down. As you all know, like having 100% perfect uptime is not realistic. So making sure that we plan for those rare occurrences as they happen in the future and make sure that people have the necessary tools to continue to make the sale is the most important thing to us.
Thank you. And as you heard earlier, we launched the offline mode in the new mobile payments SDK. So that's an example of the initiatives that we have really been focusing on over the past few months. All right, so I want to open up to the room now if anybody has any question, or I can keep going down the list that we got submitted prior. Is anybody interested in asking a question? Yes?
Hey, Jack. My name is Kevin McKenzie. I'm the founder and CEO of SKU. We were an early developer and have built a big business on your platform. Thank you. I'm just curious, how are you thinking about a very buzzy word or acronym AI in the roadmap? Like, what are the various things we will see as developers in utilizing that for building apps and our customers?
Yeah, and thank you for being a partner with us. It means a ton. Our platform is critical. Our platform is critical because it enables sellers to fill gaps that we have. And I know there's a lot of love for it, especially as they succeed and as they move up market. It's interesting because, as you probably know, like, you know, when we started the company back in 2008, in 2009, AI was called data science. And then it kind of moved on to machine learning and deep learning. And here we are with these new LLMs and all this new technology. It's super exciting. I think there's a lot of hype around it. I think there's a lot of value in it as well. And I believe it's up to us to make sure, and everyone in this room, because you're all building tools, probably now with it, and also using it in your products as well. But to approach these problems with, like, starting with the problem and use case, and then figuring out if AI is a tool that can help build something that is truly differentiated and valuable. Because I think the anti-pattern here is getting a new tool like AI and just looking for nails with this giant hammer, and you end up building technology that people don't need or want to use. But instead looking deeply at the problem first, and then looking at the horizon of technology. And if these new models are useful for that, use it. It's because of that reason, and the reverse of that, where I think there's a ton of AI startups right now. They're getting a ton of money, and I think 90% of them will fail. Not because they have necessarily the wrong people or the wrong talent or the wrong skill. It's just the wrong idea or the wrong time. And I think it's because they're, you know, latching onto this hype and just looking for problems instead of starting with a problem and looking towards AI as a potential part of the solution. It may not be the full solution. So the way we're looking at it is we have one problem, which is engineering productivity. How do we ensure that our engineers are even more productive? How do we ensure more correctness in our code base? How do we ensure that migrations go smoother? These are things that AI can really help with and are really good with. We've looked at products that are consumer-facing and customer-facing, such as tools to enable sellers to immediately create a menu and then edit that menu, so it's just faster to create images for menu items so that they don't have to do stock photography or take photography themselves, which is quite expensive for them. We've put it into our customer service flow. We've put it into our sales flows to ensure more productivity and efficiency. We're dabbling a bit in a lot, but if I were to point at one focus area for right now, it's engineering productivity. We think there's opportunities around a co-pilot type of model as well, to help sellers understand the data, to understand their operations, to understand maybe the competitive dynamics, to effectively have like a virtual co-founder or COO for their business, which would be quite cool. But it's still pretty early, and there's a lot of areas where we like all these are the greatness of all these are purely a function of data, and we can't send our customers data to OpenAI. So that's where open source AI models are really interesting and exciting. And we're definitely paying a lot of attention to them and maybe even contributing to them, because businesses like ours and likely businesses like yours that handle sensitive customer information just can't afford to send this data to a third party and need something more local that keeps the data where it should be. So that's an area we're looking at as well.
Jack, good afternoon. My name is Kelly Wilbar with Cubic AMF. We build technology for bowling and family entertainment centers worldwide. And our question is around the worldwide aspect. We heard part of the update today about part of the priority is growth in international markets and that Square sees a lot of opportunity there. We operate tech in more than 90 countries, and I was wondering if you could expand a little more on how you see growth in the international market.
Well, first of all, congrats. Not easy. And it's not easy for us in particular because we are moving money around. And to move money around, you need one requirement is you have a relationship with a local bank. And obviously there's different regulatory environments with all these different countries and markets. So it takes us a long time to open a brand new market. And we have to trade that off versus other things that we could do for the markets that we're already in, of course. We want to be as global as we can, as quickly as possible. We have a product called Register World. Our register is in all the app stores that are available today. But the payment aspects and the money moving aspects are not, as it does require, those partnerships. We want to focus on proving that we can win in the markets that we're in right now. And then as we do expand more broadly the payments aspect, that's the short term, and just go market by market by market. And maybe be a little bit more open to using third parties for the payment rails so that we can move much faster and then bring all of our software services on top to more countries faster. And then over the long term, as I said before, one of the reasons we're interested in Bitcoin is if the internet has an open protocol for money, we can use it. And we can act more like an internet company instead of a company that has to partner with these banks. And if we can move money across border instantly in the way that something like Bitcoin does, it means we can put more of our products all around the world and people can still value the money moving aspects as well. So that's not coming in the next 5 years, obviously, but I think it is, on the horizon and something we're really pushing for. And I think we all benefit from that. If we can move money without the dependency of the permission of a local bank, and I think that helps all businesses and all the customers of our businesses.
Hey Jack, I'm Waltz from Printful, one of your partners who's doing Print merch. And I had a question on Tidal. You acquired the company some time ago, and I wanted to know if you have been thinking about adding some features from Square to actually Tidal for artists to be able to monetize their accounts on this platform.
I'm actually in the Tidal office right now. Tidal started in Oslo. Yes, the reason we bought Tidal is because we see a lot of parallels between small businesses and artists. And I imagine that a number of the things that you're all working on would also be valuable to them. A lot of the artists, especially the newer artists, you have these top artists, and then you have this very, very long tail of artists, and these are DJs, these are people who play in bars. More and more, it's people who write soundtracks for like Netflix shows and movies. It's a massive market that doesn't get a lot of attention, and it's fairly large. And a lot of what they have to do is similar to what we've seen small sellers have to do, and they focus on the same things to grow. And a big part of that is having analytics. They want to get like a big part of their money comes from merchandise, which is why we have Square Commerce that they can easily turn it on. Lending is a big part of what they do, especially if they get bigger and bigger. That's the function of a label. So everything that we've built with Square actually translates almost directly to artists, and especially the smaller artists that are rising. And there's a ton of opportunity for us to help there. And there's no one else in the market that's actually doing this sort of thing in a very interesting way, and almost not doing it at all, in fact. So expect a lot more to come on the title side that references this, but also on the Square side, because we do imagine that a lot of artists will be using a lot of these Square tools to help manage their, their quote unquote business. A lot of them think of what they do as a business, and as they grow, they actually look more like a business because they're actually hiring people around them and touring and ticketing and events. These are all things that we have or we benefit from the platform that you all work on. So I'm super excited about it, and it's going to take some time, but like I think it's a vision that can really move us all forward.
Thank you. And I think back to the innovation question earlier, I think it's the kind of thing that it's not necessarily super obvious. Like, why do we have title? And I just love the vision. I think it's really great. And I don't think anybody really thinks about that besides Jack. So all right, we're out of time. So I'm sure you got a lot of more questions, but I think we need to let Jack go. Thank you so much. Thank you for the question, Egon. All right.
Thank you all.
So I'm going to hand it back to Vijay to close the keynote. Thanks for your attention.
The thing I wanted to announce is our local community hackathon winner. We kicked off a hackathon in March, and we encouraged developers to build an app that supports businesses connecting with their local community. As you heard before, that's one of the key trends that we want to enable our customers to see and our sellers to take advantage of. So we had over 1,000 participants in this hackathon. We had 54 submitted applications, and the winner is Wallaby Markets. Wallaby Markets, they built an app designed to allow a number of Square sellers to join a retail marketplace with a focus on buying locally and supporting small business and independent artists. We believe it could really serve these local communities well by closing this gap between buyers and sellers, something that, as you heard a number of times today, is something we aspire to do. So big congrats to Wallaby Markets. So I'm thrilled about all the great things ahead of us, both in terms of the future of our partnership and our developer platform, but also for the rest of the day. We've got a lot of really exciting sessions for you this afternoon. So get ready to hear from leaders from our product teams, our sales teams, and talk shop with one another during some breakout sessions this afternoon. And of course, we look forward to seeing you all this evening to celebrate in the rooftop across the way. So thank you again for joining us here in Oakland for Unboxed. We simply couldn't do what we do without you. The feedback, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the partnership, the engagement, and your time, all of which is worth celebrating. I can't wait to see what we'll build together. Thank you.